So I just wanted to read what Privateer Press said about War Machine. So it says Steamforged Games possesses resources, market reach, and infrastructure that allow the momentum that Mark IV edition of War Machine has achieved so far to maximize in the years ahead.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
It just seems to me that that company can make Mark IV more, you know, more marketable, I guess.
Yeah, it just seems like they mention here that they're 25 years old and Steamforge is 10 years old. So,
Right. It
and
just seems like maybe they have the resources, Steamforge, to, put into the game where the other company doesn't, it sounds like to me.
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if marketing was the problem. I mean, a lot of people knew about it. They just weren't interested in playing it anymore. A lot of
Right.
people played it, and then a lot of people walked away. Why did those people walk away, and how could we get them back? Is what I would want to know.
Right.
yeah, I think when you have a competitive crowd like that and you don't keep up the meta and you don't produce uh like listen to them in the right way, because listening to some of the culture can throw you off into an
Mhm.
area that just makes you really fringe.
Mhm.
Um, I'm trying to think of some games that have done that. I can't right off the top of my
But
head.
didn't Privateer Press, didn't they have their own magazine as well for the game? That's just to support it. And I know there were a lot of podcasts about it. I listened to a couple back in the day. I thought they had their own kind of White Dwarf type magazine.
I'm not
Sounds
sure.
like we might have just fallen down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So more on this later. We'll do some more research. I'm just interested because again, I have all these models and I did like the rules. It's just the scene was a little too competitive for me.
Mhm.
Um, so that's I think something we'll keep on our our radar and see what's going on. Like the new thing coming up, which is in September. Mark, do you know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about version 3 of Bolt Action?
You're a mind raider.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am really excited about it. But again, I posted about the new version and I got a lot of different comments like, oh no, the campaign books are gone. They're going to be gone. But then I reread the press release and it said, no, the campaign books are basically scenario guides anyway. So
Yeah,
those,
it looks like it's anything that, like just the I'm sorry, army lists, the books, German army, Japanese army, those books, I think it said. There's some books that aren't campaign books, but they still have like scenarios in them. So you probably
well,
could
yeah.
still use the scenarios, but there's army lists in the back that probably change,
So
you
we're
know.
all guessing because we don't know what actually is going to happen. But they did say in their press release that the armies of books will be sunsetted.
That's what I meant. Yes.
Right. But the
It'll be a
Yeah.
campaign
yeah.
books, if you look at the campaign books, it's basically, oh, you pick your forces and this is the situation. So I
Yeah.
can't see that dramatically changing, maybe errated.
I guess if like when the scenario we just referenced the Luftwaffe field unit, maybe those points change
Mhm,
somehow.
mhm.
I don't know, but
But you're still basically playing a even points game.
right. They say 1,500, 1,000, whatever, and you go from there. Yeah. So
But
But
probably the army lists in the book. Obviously, the scenarios stay the same because it's, you know,
but not all the historical scenarios are balanced. I mean, the Objective XYZ I played, that was not balanced in points. So I mean, you could still play it. It would just be unbalanced in a different way with the
hmm
new book.
hmm
yeah, and again, I've been posting and hearing people's responses. So there's all these different groups that play the game. We used to be kind of large here in Southern California, especially when the game first came out, and we've dwindled off. I know England, it's huge still. I wouldn't say huge. I mean, it's still very, very popular in England. I see a lot of tournaments played. And there's a group up in the Northwest that I know about. There was a group in Portland. I haven't heard much activity on their um, Discord server. So I think there's that little lull before 3 comes out and people get excited about it again, I think.
Yeah, I mean, lots of people have armies already, and if all you have to do is buy a new rule book, I'm sure there'll be many people who will just buy the new rule book just to give it a taste and see if they like it or not.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the rule book's going to have all hopefully, well, again, I'm just guessing, but in the old rule book, it had American, German, British, Soviets. So you could build any of those armies. And then the army of books just expanded on that.
Mhm.
They would be wise to include, enough so that people could play all their models. So like French, Japanese,
I mean,
Romanian.
for all we know, they'll have some PDFs initially,
Mhm.
but again, they'd probably want people to buy the armies of books when they come out as well. So
Although they're very good about offering, I'm always amazed at the amount of data they give free in their
Yeah,
PDFs.
for sure.
yeah, and I mean, if they update like the other tools that are out there, like the bolt action, the easy army to build lists and stuff like that, that's all most people would want.
And I had heard that from John and from some of their podcasts that their plan was to move forward with the rule set up the historical timeline, which they did. They created Korea, but I don't think people have got a lot of interest in playing Korea because I don't see a lot about it.
It's just like reality, it doesn't get a lot of interest.
Then they were going to do, I guess, Arab-Israeli conflicts in the 70s, and then up to, what if World War III sort of thing, just like
Sure.
Flames of War people at Battlefront have done with Team Yankee.
Yeah. I'm focused on World War II personally, so I'm good with them focusing on that, but
I mean, Warlord also announced some new news about their Conflict 47 game as well, that rules designer Andy Chambers is going to be working on the next version of Conflict 47 rules as well. So, I mean, that might
someone made a good point about buying Conflict 47 because you get the normal tank plus the futuristic tank. You get like basically two in one
I
when you buy
have
those.
I bought both the Sherman and the Panzer IV, and it's the standard plastic model kit with an extra resin turret in
Mhm.
both kits. So yeah, those are good models to buy. So, but
And
again, I mean, you could start Conflict 47 with your bolt action army and then just add a couple of pieces here and there to play Conflict 47. So I'm also very interested in the new Conflict 47 rules when that comes out. They haven't announced any date or what those new books will be, but I'm curious about that as well.
yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there. I know they have Blood Red Skies, Cruel Seas. They have all their Pike and Shot and Black Powder and Hail Caesar. They have so many lines um, that they try to, keep fresh. Uh, I'm interested to see how much push they're going to give this new third edition. We
Mhm.
we had been told that Italieri was going to pick up many more kits and
That's
build.
cool.
Yes, because those kits are more detailed. They're just better kits than the
Mhm.
resin kits that we're suffering to put together.
Mhm.
Like the Flak 36 is an Italieri kit, right? And you just bought one, right, Mark?
Oh, was it an Italia kit? I guess it is. It says Warlord on it.
I think if you look on the bottom though, it says Italieri,
Oh, I'll
doesn't
have
it?
to look. I didn't see that. I know that the church they sell is an Italia church. Some of the items are.
I had just built the desert one and didn't really look at it
Yeah, I have
too
the Waffen
closely.
SS one.
But I'm interested that Phil has kind of lost a little bit of interest in the game. Phil, do you want to just explore
I
that a little
mean,
bit?
it was kind of getting repetitive. I mean, unless I was going to start a same old army, and I've got 4 or 5 different armies as it is. It's like I've played them all a lot. I know how they play. Uh, they're the same scenarios in the rule book. Although I did like it, Mark, when you brought out some of those Bolt Action Alliance scenarios recently. That was a lot of fun because that was some
Mhm.
variety. but most of the time it was just the standard 6 scenarios with the
Yeah.
standard armies, and game played, I mean, the same after a while. I mean, I knew I'd played a lot of people in the same group. We played against each other for a while, so I wanted something new, and I don't know if other players just got bored with the game, but I am certainly interested in trying a new set of rules.
Sweet.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It is a Flak 37 that's Italiary.
Okay. I
Um,
bought the Waffen SS. I believe that's the one I got.
Okay. Yeah, it's the non-desert one, it looks like.
Yeah, I have the Waffen SS one. So
Right. And why am I saying Flak 36? Why are you guys letting me do that? Are there two guns?
because we want to get corrected, Paul.
Oh, yes. And Phil will tell us all about it. He's like, stop doing that, Paul. I have to listen to all the corrections.
As long as they're corrected, the two of you and not me, I'm fine with it.
There you go. Perfect. Nice.
Oh, yes. Throw a Paul under the bus. Cool.
Nice.
All right. So there's new breath coming into the bolt action scene. Okay. Hey, guess what? I was right. So they have a Flak 36 88 millimeter with limbers.
Oh, okay.
And it is not an Italiary kit. So for
Is
those
that
people
metal
that
then?
no, it's plastic, isn't it?
Okay.
Is it metal? Let's see, it says in this little thing, right? Made to order.
Sometimes it doesn't
I
say.
mean, yeah, then it's not plastic. If it's a Warlord made to order kit, it's resin and metal.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is resin and metal. So that's the difference. So the Italiary kit is the Flak 37. And
Okay, I guess I have that one.
okay, and then the Flak 36 is the metal one. So they're not real easy to put together. I had the plastic one too, which is the 8th Army.
No, it's balancing the man on the seat. He throws off but I got him balanced pretty well for some reason, so I'm happy.
I got the 2 shock absorbers on the barrel. Those were really hard to get.
Yes, those were difficult. I agree with you on that. Yeah.
So there seems to be, and I know that turns off a lot of people to the hobby. If they have to struggle with stuff like that, they're just like, I'll just play a video game.
Yeah, I grew up building airplanes and stuff that were really difficult, so I'm used to that. Those are pretty easy for me, actually, in the end.
Yeah.
They're not too intricate for me, but I understand when people don't want to build stuff for sure.
So if I can locate I guess they're saying that the Mark IV rules are still in, I'm switching gears. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We're going back to War Machine.
Nice.
I wanted to wrap up that Mark, you don't have many of your models, right, Phil? You still?
No, I don't. Last time I moved, I got rid of a bunch of them.
Okay. Well, I'll do some research on that then and find out where the rules are coming from and all that good stuff. So what's coming up on our agenda? Or is there any other news that we want to talk about?
No, not that I know of.
Okay. So the 29th, that's this Saturday, right?
This coming Saturday, yes. So if the podcast gets out in time, there will be another game at the church. This time it is ECW. I believe it'll be Pike and Shot. All the armies will be painted and brought by other people, so you could just show up and play if that's what you want. If you want to learn, I'm sure they'd be happy to teach you. And that's at the church on Coldwater Canyon in LA.
And he also said there's going to be 2 other tables available, right?
Yeah, there's enough room for empty tables if you just want to show up and play another game. I will say that Saturday it was fantastic there because the air conditioning there is supreme.
It was perfect. It was really nice.
Yeah.
And then the following weekend, we're doing an American Revolutionary War there.
And that's July 6th, so just in time for the holidays. I know there'll be Rebels and Patriots, and I think someone wants to do sharp practice as well, so there'll be multiple game systems.
I'm going to try to do muskets and tomahawks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so bring your models and show up to that. I'm not going to make the ECW one, but I will be at the American Revolution one.
Same with me.
Yeah, I'm going to try to make the AWI because I want to play muskets and tomahawks with you, Mark.
Yeah, it's fun. You should try it.
Well, I played Mark 1,
Oh, okay.
version 1, whatever they
Version
call
one.
it.
Right.
But I never got version 2, and I know Phil tried to get me show
Well,
me
I,
how to
I only
buy
have
it.
version 1 as well. I don't have version 2,
Yeah.
but
No,
I
it's
enjoy
a
it.
great game. Great game.
Yeah, it is. It's a very good game. I really like the thing I really like is when you line your men up into the nice, neat little rows where people say, "Oh my gosh, they fought like that. That's crazy." You actually get a +1 to hit.
Yes.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it's like, why not? I mean, they're giving it to
There are
me.
a big wall of men there.
I get my wall of inaccurate balls flying through the air.
Okay,
Um,
yes.
okay, yes. So 817, we're way down to 817 and Odyssey Games Test
It's
of Honor. So that's
Test of Honor.
the samurai game.
Yep. Yeah, I mean after actually the TV show Shogun came out fairly recently, there was a lot of more interest in Test of Honor, and I had played a lot of version 1. I actually picked up the version 2 rules as when Shogun was on, and I've been painting up some more models slowly. I mean, it's a fun game, at least the version 1 that I remember, and I've heard good things about version 2 as well.
Nice.
And didn't Warlord have something like that game?
So Warlord actually had version 1. It was their game. They paid for it. They had plastic samurai and Japanese models that they had gotten from either War Games Factory or War Games Foundry or some other company. They basically bought the molds and took those over. But then they just basically didn't want it anymore, so they sold it, I think, to the game's author, who's now basically running it. And he's got a brand new metal miniature line as well. And the name of the company is Gray for Now Games. But if you just search for Test of Honor, you'll find it. They're an English company. I ordered stuff from them recently, and it shipped from England fairly quickly. But the metal models that they have now are much nicer looking than the old plastics. The old plastics were some of the first plastic wargaming kits out there. They were not good. They were a lot of parts. They were very fiddly. The detail wasn't the greatest, but these new metals that they're doing are very nice.
Cool. All right. Anything in beyond that that anyone knows about?
I'm gonna do a bolt action event in October so that when we can play the version 3, try it out. So I'm just waiting for that to pop out and then we'll see what we can do in October.
That's a
Okay.
good idea.
And then Clovis, when does Clovis happen?
That's in July. Actually, we're not gonna make it up there. But
Oh,
it's still gonna be happening. I'm not gonna be able to get up there, but yeah, it's for the Vietnam veterans. They're still having their event. It's a big convention, so it's sort of like Strategic Con of the North there a little bit.
okay. And then I do we say Labor Day weekend and the big convention at the
There will be
airport?
another Strategicon. I have not seen any scheduled stuff yet. It's a little too early for people to be planning. I don't think they've actually allowed. I don't think they're open for game submittals yet, although maybe they are. But certainly not. I wouldn't expect to see anything. I'm sure I'll keep you guys all up to date in upcoming podcasts, though.
Now, I
For
do
sure.
know that Mini Wars is going to happen on the 28th and 29th of September, just at the Howard Johnson's, which is just north of Disneyland.
Nice.
So that's been booked, and we'll start seeing some stuff on that, and we'll start talking about that. I don't know if
Perfect.
I'm going to be able to make that. That's right when school gets really intense. How about you,
Mhm.
Mark? Is that
Yeah, that's the probably the worst time, but
I might be able to make it. I was hoping to go last year. I couldn't do it. I mean, I used to go to some of their mini work events when they were at a college. I don't remember which college it was at, but I mean, it was a good turnout with a good number of games. I mean, that's all historical games. They even had a couple of dealers. So yeah, I had a good
awesome.
time.
Awesome.
And they're basically at a hotel now, so that's even better.
Hmm.
Yeah, they used to be at the
At a
university.
student center at a college. Yeah.
Yeah, at the UC Fullerton, right?
Oh, that sounds right. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
remember the
yeah,
exact
that's
times.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right on.
Um,
It's gonna be fun.
yeah. So I'm wondering if we can, we've always talked about this, maybe doing a podcast from like Strategicon.
Strategicon is kind of hard for Wi-Fi. We could try it. I mean, I think maybe if we did something live from the church one day, that might be
Yeah, that would be the
easier.
best and easiest, probably.
Well, we did do that one after action with the church, remember, and
Yep.
posted that. That was
Mhm.
fun.
Well, maybe the AWI day would be good if we're all going to be there.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be great.
And that would be a great time. We could do the whole podcast there and play a little and talk a
Interview
little bit.
players.
Yeah, interview players, see what they're doing. They're going to be playing Sharp Practice, which I don't know, but I know Rebels and Patriots.
Nice.
Yeah. Last thoughts.
Before we end the show, I mean, I would like to unfortunately mention some sad news that I heard recently from people in the Los Angeles area. The former owner of Aero Hobbies, Keith Alexander, passed away last month. He ran the store from 2006 when he took it over from the previous owner to 2019 when the store closed. So keep him in your thoughts.
And that is a huge like hub, as I remember.
It was a great store. He was a great owner. He and Shanti, they made it a very friendly place to go play, and they were great at giving advice for people who were interested in purchasing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know a lot of clubs just satellited right out of it. They would.
Yeah, there was a lot of wargaming there, and Keith basically introduced playing at the store there. The previous owner didn't really have any tables in store, and Keith added some of those. And yeah, I played there for the longest time. So yeah.
And he had one of the best 40K armies. He had painted a whole army in the tiger stripes. So all his troops look like tigers.
Nice.
It was epic. I would took pictures and showed people, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool." It was very well done. A lot of hard work, painting all the black lines.
Mm-hmm.
And no, they didn't look like a bunch of tigers on the battlefield. They looked really hot and really cool.
Nice.
But that is very sad that but he was very young.
He
that's
was 52,
even more tragic. Yeah, that's really tragic.
Too young.
Too young. Yes. All right. So, boy, we're not going to end on that note, are we?
Well, even more reason to get out there and game and get your chances out and enjoy life, right?
Yes. And keep your pile of shame small.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
How's your pile of shame, Mark?
Oh, it's always too large. Too large. Too much going. I have, what is that? Eyes bigger than my stomach, but, painting ability, I guess.
Well, I was just looking at this campaign that we're doing, and there's a bunch of Croatian units that you can build. So I'm like, oh, I think I have some extra sprues of Germans. I had 12 sprues of Germans.
Lots of Croatians.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to build some of those because it's hard to see the light machine gun. So I'm going to build the light machine gun very prominently and the loader very prominently. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet.
I've been putting flowers on the bases of my sergeants so that I can pick them out easier.
That's a good idea. Yeah. But the only, the trick is that is he holding a rifle? Is he holding a sub? The sub's 3 points.
Is he pointing with one arm like all leaders and sergeants do and stuff like that? Yes, that's always your officers.
Or you can put berets on or whatever, helmets
soft caps.
on the soldiers, soft caps on the sergeants.
Yep. Yeah. When I first built them, I gave them all subs standing with the soft cap. And that made it pretty easy to find. Then I just switched to kneeling, shooting a rifle, so that he was the only one kneeling and everyone else was on their toes. So I thought, okay, that works as well. So there's I think that's part of the reason I like the game so much too, is the modeling aspects. And
yeah, you can do a ton of different things, whatever you want.
Like, I'm really excited to see what you're going to bring on the table there for vehicles, Mark.
KVs, KV1, KV2, KV3.
So I'm bringing the Black 88.
I know, I get that.
Just roll that thing out and go, okay, come on.
Yeah.
How's your pile of shame, Phil?
Right now, it's fairly small. There's a couple of tester honor models I want to finish building. Unfortunately, the next Battletech Kickstarter supposedly is going to ship within a month or so. And I kind of got a lot of that. So that'll be a massive addition to my pile of shame. I will take pictures of the box when that arrives.
There you go.
Yes, and post that on the Facebook page so we can
Yes.
look in awe of your
Yes.
army. You have to show like a big shot of your army. Post
Like-
that so
I could do that. All the models. Yes, I have an Excel sheet that tracks them all now. I got so many.
Oh wow.
yeah. I was doing that with my 40K armies and my bolt action armies. Couldn't keep it up.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's
You need to hire a secretary.
yeah.
And I need an assistant. Yes.
All right, and my pile of shame, I already mentioned the 12 sprues, so I'm trying to build a couple of Croatian units. They're
Nice.
going to be easy. I just have to put the symbol on their shirt, right?
Okay.
And on their helmet.
Uh-huh.
So I got to figure out. I think it's just a chevron, right?
Unless they're using that
Blue.
checkerboard, they have like a red checkerboard emblem. They might be using that. I don't know.
That's not going to happen. Little dots on each guy.
Well, I don't know if they give you decals, or do you get decals with them, or no? Okay.
No, they just introduced it.
Oh,
in
you're
the-
just using German. You're just using German sprues.
Well, they
you know-
just used German uniforms, and they said they
Right.
had their emblems, so-
Warlord sells those decal sets pretty cheaply. I don't know if they have a Croatian set. I mean, I wouldn't care. I'm not gonna, be like they can't play. They're not Croatian, but oftentimes soldiers are just thrown in with just basic uniforms with no emblems, right?
Right. I was gonna see if. Oh, yeah, it's a black and white checkerboard shield
Yeah, something like that.
or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, so well, I guess dots, just dot, 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 dot,
Yeah.
dot, 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 dot.
I mean, I don't think it's noticeable once you put the shading on and everything. So
Yeah, because you could paint just a white shield symbol and then just dot the red dot pattern because it's 2, 3, 2, 3, 2.
yeah,
Easy on
they're just conscripts from a village. Come on, Paul.
easy to do on 25 figures. Piece of cake.
Nice. They're not
All right.
Napoleonics. Come on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Napoleonics. All right. So last words. Not last words, but last words for the podcast. What do we got, Mark?
I'm just looking forward to the summer of gaming here. I think it's going to be fun and lots of events coming up. So we'll be reporting on all of it.
And Phil?
Echoing Mark's words, I'm looking forward to all the events that are being planned, the conventions, and all the miniatures I'm going to have to paint when they show up.
Yeah, a lot of BattleTech, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to getting out to Xander again. Really
Yes.
liking the after action report at the Mexican bar and grill.
Yes.
Talking
That was
over
great.
the loud music.
Yes. That was great.
Yeah, so something like that, and of course the Studio City. And I really do want to make it down to like next gen and play you, Phil. I keep saying that every
Okay.
episode. So sad. All right, we'll see you.
This was a long
Thanks.
podcast.